people that are very broken in whatever way, meaning out of alignment and causing deep damage to themselves. And I've had people tell me, I've met friends, back in the day that they're like, oh, Tanya, we're going to this festival, this rave, and, I just get a vibe. I'm like, I'm not really into that. Like, have fun, though. And they're like, oh, you don't understand. It's like sexual freedom. And they're trying to explain to me, like, we should all just go be so free and sexual and just be with anyone. And I observe it, and what I see is that these humans are deeply wounded, and they're deeply hurting, and they all have their journey to wake up to that. But the woundedness is causing them to go and be so open with strangers and people they don't know because they're wanting to be free. But what I see from my observation of that behavior is that they're very enslaved by that need for just sexual connection, because there's a deeper craving they have. They deeply want to realign with their source. They deeply want to feel safe and loved and supported. And so my observation of that is the humans that live in that way, they're the most insecure people I've seen. They constantly are hungry for more and more attention. I need more people looking at me. I need more people desiring me. And it ends up being this tricky little seduction thing that happens where we end up in a shadow energy. And maybe we went there thinking we were going to be free and liberated. But when we go there and we're actually losing that very freedom and liberation to love ourselves, and we now crave everyone's approval, we crave all these people's attention. I see some of this as some of the deepest sexual woundedness on our planet. And when we look at society, our music, if you listen to the music of this generation, it's telling you what the woundedness is. Watch a lot of the films that are coming out, a lot of sexual woundedness. I see a lot of, in the healing community, I see a lot of people, wanting to do workshops and kind of like heal this. But even in that realm, I see humans that are still very wounded, trying to figure out how to heal it. But while they're offering workshops to heal it, they're actually wounding themselves further. So something that we need to tune into is, how do we get back to that place where we're authentically loving self? And this is not needing anybody's approval. This is not needing anybody to be your fans, your friends, your followers. It's about you being authentic to you, being true to you. If it's like the mother that comes into yoga and she's so exhausted and she's like, I just want to rest, but everybody wants me to do stuff and help them, and I feel like I have to help everybody. And in her level, that's her form of enslavement, is if I feel like I have to please everybody, then I put my own needs last, and then I suffer and I feel exhausted. And not long after that, I'm going to feel resentful, I'm going to feel angry, I'm going to be pissed off. And I'll be, lashing out at my family. And then I'm going to feel guilt and shame because I lost my shit. And so now I'm going to go self-loathe. And so you guys see the pattern. This is what a lot of humans do. But the way we nip that in the bud is we have to start actually claiming our time for ourselves. And that doesn't mean we go and lose ourselves in a big community and we need to have all these people accept us and approve of us. In essence, it's pulling away from all that. It's pulling into a place where you absolutely feel comfortable in your own skin, where you do not need anybody's approval, and you really move to your own beat. You flow, you move in a place of authenticity. And I feel that is what we're each on this planet to learn, is to come back to that, to remember who we are, and to stop being followers, and to stop, lashing out and gossiping about people that aren't doing it our way. It's ridiculous, and it's such a waste of your energy. So if you guys like that and you want to keep being dramatic, go for it. That's how you're going to learn. But if those of you that are tuning in are like, I'm kind of exhausted, Tanya, I kind of am really tired of drama, I'm really tired of pettiness, I'm tired of just exhausting myself and overextending myself, I'm tired of overcommitting myself to people and events that I don't even want to do. I'm tired of doing things from obligation and guilt. If that's where you are, then that's the best way. That's how Spirit led you here today to listen to this message, because at the deepest level, that is something that you have a right to. You have permission. But each of us have to get back to a place where we give ourselves permission again to be authentic. And that is going to take patience and gentleness, because so many have been taught to go against themselves and to not love themselves. to not honor how they actually feel, to go do for everybody else and put your own needs last. And you're never going to find joy from that. I promise you, you will never find joy. You will temporarily have a satisfaction of that person like complimenting you, stroking your ego because you did something for them. And, oh, thank you. I'm so glad you did that because no one else would do it. You're an angel. You're a lifesaver. And if you seek that approval and that attention, you'll completely put your own needs last just to get that little stroke of the ego. And that's really not going to make you feel good long term. I'm going to pause for a second and see if anybody has any questions or comments. If you guys, what were you going to say, Amnon?
I was saying Cherokee said, went through a DNA activation in March. I'm stuck between my 4th and 5th dimension. So Ron is saying, stuck? What's that like? He said, I'm a type 2 indigo, 24-strand DNA. And Ron said, oh, okay, that's deep stuff. And he said, I look it up to get more understanding of DNA strands and type 2 indigo. And he's asking, what do you feel Tanya is? What makes a type 2 indigo? Eye color? And Cherokee says, an anchor. Said, I could go deeper, but it's weird for people that are in 3 dimension. And Ron said, understood. And Cherokee says, no, she's been in the 5th dimension for a long time.
Who, Cherokee?
You.
Oh, me?
Yeah.
Yeah, Daddy.
Indeed. Okay, so there's a place where we could go to. For one thing, one of the things I would encourage Cherokee to do is to really, though I so feel compassion for the journey she's on to understand a lot of her own soul. But one of the things we got to be careful of that can start to create complexity in our movie is when we start to put labels and attachments and we try to, like, I got to understand myself and I need to have a label and put myself on this shelf. And then now when I'm on this shelf, I can't go on that shelf because I'm this. And what I would encourage you to do, Cherokee, that will get you unstuck is to let go of all that. Let go of all the attachments, all the labels, and just let yourself feel very anchored to this planet, like very grounded and present. If you're into yoga, practicing yoga, going outside and really standing barefoot in the grass and just really grounding your energy, very much being anchored to the earth. And then when you're channeling, like where you're sensing what dimensional plane I am connected with, that realm of consciousness will become just your natural state. And so if you're not trying to deny the 3rd dimension or try to make yourself hurry into another one, in essence, you will totally just vibrationally rise because you're not trying to make anything happen. And so sometimes the trick is when we're getting information, we're getting education on things, we like, whoa, that sounds awesome. Like, what is that? I want to know more about it and learn about it. But be very mindful of attaching yourself to something that says, this is what I am and I have to say this. Any more than you would get attached to if someone said you're ADHD or you are bipolar or you are depressed. If we get an attachment to a label, we start to actually keep ourselves stuck intellectually. Because in truth, you're not stuck. In truth, your soul is expanding and it's vibrating and it's beautiful and it's happening naturally. There's nothing you have to even do to make it happen. You just need to let go of control. Let go of trying to get somewhere else or trying to get away from somewhere and just completely be here, be present, be completely centered and at ease in your physical form. Because when we are channeling and accessing higher consciousness, the most magical way we're going to powerfully use that in that wisdom is when we're very grounded and present here. If I didn't feel like I wanted to be here because I'm like, oh, this 3rd dimension sucks, I got to get out of here, then in essence, I'm going to create resistance, and that's going to start causing me that feeling of stuckness because I'm putting out an energy of resistance instead of just being grounded and centered. I'm peaceful, I'm present, I don't need any attachments, I open up to my source. What do you have to say? How may I serve? How may I assist? What would you like to speak through me? And that is seriously, it's the simplest thing, But I see, like, on the journey, when a lot of souls are in this place where we're wanting to understand, we get very spiritually hungry and we want to understand it all intellectually. And so I sense that's where you are right now, is you're in an intellectual space with that. But as you just let go of the control and you let go of the labeling, it's going to help you actually expand. You're going to feel this expansiveness that won't need to be limited. It won't need to be controlled or put a label on it. And so kind of explore how you feel about that. But that's my intuitive nudge to help you in that situation that you're in. Any comments on that or any questions that she has?
Not yet.
Okay. Process that. And that's, that brings up a topic when I've had different clients that will come and they really are spiritually hungry. And I remember being there. So I am not mocking anyone in that space of like, oh my God, I'm awakening and I want to know the freaking answers, because there's this excitement that happens when a soul opens their eyes and they start to really understand who they are. They're this soul essence. They're this vast consciousness. Oh my God, that's awesome. And we get hungry. We want to read every book on past life regression and every book on, shamanism, or I want to know this and that. And we can do that to almost a detriment that it will become like our new addiction. We're like not at ease. And now because we're not at ease with what we're not at ease with. So we're researching it. And when we can get to a place, I feel that there is such wisdom in sometimes pushing all the books away and just being in meditation and just being still, going on a walk, go sit on a boat with your beloved and fish and just listen to the birds and just listen to spirit and feel the vibrational wisdom rising up in you, because this is where we're all moving towards, is this old third dimensional realm, which we are in a third dimension. There is this physical, I can knock on my computer, it's solid. But as we are accessing this higher consciousness, we're accessing a higher realm of, consciousness in another dimensional space, but we still are here. We're still in this physical dimension. This is why we chose human form, or whatever form was chosen. Some animals choose an animal form, but we chose it so we could experience, we could feel things, we could feel emotion. It takes us longer to get places. We have to walk there. We can't teleport, but there's a beauty in why we chose to be in the form, because we want, in essence, to slow down. We want to feel the experience. We want to taste that chocolate and that raspberry. We want to experience that sensation. Whereas in the spiritual realms, when we're accessing consciousness and we're in meditation or in dream state, we can't really solidly grasp things. It's moving very quickly. We can jump from here to there. We can move all over the place, and that can feel very beautiful. And to a soul that's in its human form, that's not really accepting that form, that can feel like you're stuck. Like, this body, I just want to get out of here. But if you just honor the fact that your soul chose that body, and if you could just really ground into it and really accept your body, accept it, like, okay, this is my new outfit. Let me get to know this outfit. Let me love it. While I also remember I am higher consciousness, I am one with the divine, I am intelligent, I am infinitely, intelligent, I have unlimited potential, and we can access that consciousness and then let it come in and benefit the body, benefit the form. So if we're trying to deny form, we feel stuck because we're going to try to get away. It's kind of like, if people aren't happy in their job or relationship, they want to get out of there. So it starts to create tension, and then they notice like the relationship gets more and more tense, or the situation at work gets more and more stressful, and they're just more pissed. And in essence, when that soul's trying to get away, they're creating resistance, and it's actually creating an experience of that resistance. Vibrationally, there's going to be more irritation, lack of communication. This fallout will happen. So if we want to gently leave anything, even if it's our body, if we're on the deathbed and we're ready to get out of the form, just that deep breath of surrender and being present to allowing the divine to take us out if we're ready is much more powerful than I'm trying to get away. I don't want to die. I don't want to be in that place. So then there's fear. I don't want to be in this relationship. I got to get away from here. Resistance. So if we can get into that place where we're really tuning in, am I in a place of resistance? Am I trying to get away? Or am I at ease? And just be honest with yourself. If you're not, that's okay. Be honest. Take a breath, close your eyes. Do I feel at ease? Am I at peace? And if not, start to affirm that. Start to,